and gentlemen, please welcome back Jasper Carrott.
Thank you very much, thank you. I thought I'd start off this week with a request for a song. It's a thing called Chastity Belt. Some of you are wearing them. Hands up all the people that know Chastity Belt. All right, hands up in the air, all the people that know Chastity Belt. And it's from this bloke, this request, and he lives in Goole, and he couldn't make it tonight, which is strange. Well, if you know Goole, you'll know why, really. It's a weird place, I tell you. The cafes close in the dinner hour. And I wonder if someone who lives in Goule's called a ghoulie. I wonder if there were two of them. All right, cut, yes. What are you, a Mancunian? What are you, a Brummie? What are you, a ghoulie? So, here we go. It's a folk song, sort of, because I used to work in folk clubs for quite a while. In fact, I started a folk club many years ago in a town called Solihull. Yes, I thought you'd be impressed. It's Solihull. If you don't know Solihull, it's like it's a sort of a very rich suburb of on the outskirts of Birmingham. One of those places where there's two cars in the garage and nothing in the fridge. And it was a few years ago, and I wanted to start this folk club, and in Solihull, because it's very strict, you see. You can't just go and start a folk club like that. You have to go to this sort of committee type of affair, and you have to get their permission, or else they squash it, you see. And they said, well, fix up an appointment and go along and see them. So I bowled along, and I went to the Palace, which it's the council house, beautiful place. And I went in there, and the commissioner was sort of got all the details down, and he opened this great big door, and said, go down to the bottom and they'll see you. And it's this immense room, gigantic, like Wembley Stadium. And they were down there at the bottom. It was like a cafeteria halfway. You can get a cup of tea, just in case. And I got there, and they're all sitting around, and there's about 20 old biddies. Yes. Mm-hmm. And there's one bloke, right? And he's 108 years old, right? And he's dead. Right. He votes by strings, And he said, who are you? And I explained. And they said, what do you want? And I said, well, I'd like to start a folk club in Solihull. And he said, what? A folk club in Solihull? Good heavens, no. Folk club? A folk club, long-haired hippies, sex orgies, drugs, silly people? Good heavens, no. And I thought, what folk club has she been going to? I've never come across it. So no, I said, look, it's folk music, and it's a folk club. It'll be very cultural, and that was the tag word. You see, culture. Oh, they like culture in Solihull. So they said, oh, well, if it's cultural, yes, by all means, right. So I started this folk night in Solihull. It was real cultural, and it was in a rugby club. And I called the club the Boggery. True, it's still going today, and it's neither one nor the other, is it really? And and this upset the old biddies in Solihull, and we had a lot of trouble because it was very successful. I mean, the opening night was packed out, and it was like, well, I mean, there's nothing else to do in Solihull. You can watch the smoke from the crematorium or something. And people were packed in there, you see. And of course, when these biddies found out what a folk club was all about, we were up. They try and close it down. They try to close it down. And we had all these petitions up and people coming round, and the mayoress came, and one night, and she enjoyed herself, really. And I think somebody gave her a bottle of Guinness and she was all right. I think she's a test pilot for Guinness now. I'm not doing it. And we had this... Anyway, we were saved. It was getting fairly close to being closed down, but we were saved when someone in Solihull managed to open up a sex supermarket. In Solihull, he must have been a genius. I think he called it a mother care shop or something. And it was an amazing place. How he did it, I'll never know. And I used to wander around there frequently, days on end. And the things you could buy, I couldn't get my hat on with some of the things. I bought this clockwork cucumber, Now you massage your legs with it. Straight there. Knockout for football. Lovely. And all my mates were waiting outside, you see, and I was sort of showing them, this clockwork thing. They go, blimey, that's great. And all these biddies were, of course, protesting against this sex thing when they were walking up and down, great big banners. Ban sex! Bring back the cat! Right on, yeah. And so they came up and they said, right, you sign this petition. What's that? I said, it's mine. Give it here, you filthy beast. You, hold on to that, Agnes. You filthy beast. Agnes! You sign our petition, you, against this filthy place. What's your name? Carrot. Anyway, it's still going. It's still going. So if you're passing through Solihull, and most people do, pop into the Boggery Folk Club. Anyhow, I said I'd give it a plug. And anyway, this is one of the folk songs that I occasionally do, and it's a chorus one, so you can join in. And it's this song, Chastity Belt. Right? It was taught to me by an auntie of mine. Right, it's like a middle-aged greaser. She used to get these obscene telephone calls from this bloke who reversed the charges. She's really into sort of flagellation, necrophilia and bestiality. I told her she's flogging a dead horse there. And she also has a terrible habit or affliction called spoonerismitis. And she's always saying really silly things like chish and fips and poop bolish and shining wit, things like that. And she taught me this song, Chastity Belt. Eric Clapton. Oh, pray, mental Jaden, may I lee your bother, condemn me no longer to warn or to meep. Struck it down, what a thought, what a heart. I like doing dead and wying, let down your drawbridge, I'll enter your keep. Chorus. Enter your keep, noddy noddy, enter your keep, noddy noddy, let down your drawbridge, I'll enter your keep. Knockout. You're singing in Braille, aren't you? This second verse is sung by a fair maiden, which I try and imitate. Very badly. A couple of reasons. But you can just imagine it. Alas, Ogle Nedant, I am a Tate Baden. I'm married to Sir Oswald, the cunning old Celt. He's gone to the wars. Wars in this case is spelled W-A-R-S. For 12 months or longer, and caken the tea to my bastardy chilt. Bevrioddie, bastardy chilt, noddy noddy, bastardy chilt, noddy noddy, caken the tea to my bastardy chilt. Near fought, mental Jaden, for I know a slackbith. To Fizzord we will go on his nor will dock. to try to avail us of his Nestle spoilage and see if he's able to unlick your pock. Pick your lock, noddy noddy, unpick your lock, noddy noddy, see if he's able to unpick your lock. Ain't you told Slackbith? Hey lass, but and Saddam, I find I'm unable. My Nestle spoilage is of no avail. I can't find the secrets of your combinations. The billy old sarted has yitted a fail. Yitted a fail, noddy noddy, yitted a fail, noddy noddy, billy old sarted has a yitted a fail. Guess who? He's whack from the Boers. I'm whack from the Boers. With Nadsus of Sidaster, a medical tiss-up I have to from Carl. While Shine poswassing the jakes of Strabraltar, I carelessly crap the Sorry, we all make mistakes. There's the Dalek's head climbing off the dustbin. Over the side, noddy noddy, over the side, noddy noddy, carelessly crop the D over the side. Fair maiden, a lass and a lack, I'm locked up forever. When up stepped a beige boy, said to me, Vituli, if you will allow me to cento your amber, I'll open you up with my cuplicity. Cast Loris, cuplicity, noddy noddy, cuplicity, noddy noddy, open you up with my cuplicity. Do we have any football fans in the audience tonight? Yeah! Here is some football news. Birmingham City have finally transferred Trevor Francis. They've sold him for £8 million to Tottenham Hotspur. Arsenal, Chelsea, Queen's Park Rangers, Southend and Chelmsford. Plus in return 2 goalposts, a penalty spot, groundsman Julian Cronk, Clement Freud, Margaret Thatcher and a bag of marbles. Due to a mix-up in the Football League fixture computer, Wolverhampton Wanderers are in fact at home tomorrow to Liverpool and Arsenal. Wolverhampton Wanderers have offered to play sideways across the park. No change there. While Liverpool are playing with the wind due to a very bad pre-match lunch. And Arsenal will be featuring their star player Malcolm McDonald, the flying forward who has to leave the field every 15 minutes to wipe the dead flies off his glasses. He had a magnificent game for Arsenal on Wednesday, scoring all 16 goals in their 8-all draw with Fulham. And finally, the European Committee for the European Cup have announced a new European competition that features all the winners of the European Cup. Every year, all European teams that have won the European Cup can compete for a new European Cup called the All-European Cup Winners' Winners' Cup. At the same time, the European Committee for the Cup Winners' Cup have announced a similar competition called the All-European Cup Winners' Cup Winners' Cup. There have been European suggestions that these 2 European competitions be combined into one, and to have a European trophy to be called the All-European Cup Winners' Winners' Cup and Cup Winners' Cup Winners' Cup Cup. It is envisaged that eventually there will be a European competition for all the winners of the All-European Cup Winners' Winners' Cup and Cup Winners' Cup Winners' Cup Cup, called the All-European Cup Winners' Winners' Cup and Cup Winners' Cup Cup Winners' Cup Shield. Football for me personally is a great part of my life, really. Yeah. And I do actually play the game as well. And I'm a goalie. Not a very good one, I must admit. And this season they put a bell in the ball so I'll know when it's coming. We almost won 2-1 last week. We lost 8-0 again. And I was having a dreadful game in goal. Like, you know, eventually they sort of, halfway through the game, they put me into the sort of centre forward spot. And I wasn't too bad. I nearly got a goal and I hit the crossbar. Bloody hurt. They put me back into goal again and another 5 goals in. And I was really depressed. I got to admit, at the end of the game, I was really down. I sat in the dressing room, sort of on my gloves up, I put my head in my hands and missed. But I think football itself is going through a bad time, really. There's a lot of confusion with sort of players' contracts and things. And, of course, violence is very, very prevalent, isn't it? And I have a theory. I don't think football is responsible for the violence. Now, that's quite a statement, really. I think the violence itself is a malaise of society. What did he say? I don't know, something about mayonnaise or something. No, it's a fact that, I mean, if football wasn't there, the violence would manifest itself in some other way, wouldn't it? Right? In another sport, you know? Croquet. Or cricket. I mean, it's in cricket, isn't it? I mean, you get violence in cricket. Well, certainly unruly crowds, you know. Look, get off, will you? We don't... I don't really know what the answer is. I haven't got one. I've been involved almost several times with violence. Once at an England and Scotland game, and the other was last season. And I went to Old Trafford, and Birmingham City were playing there. And I thought, well, I'll go along. It was the first game of the season. And without being biased, Birmingham won 2-2. That's a win for us, you know. We lose some, draw some, you know. And I went along there with a friend of mine, and we bought some tickets at Birmingham's ground. And we bought the best seats. And I thought, well, it should be all right in the best seats. And we went along there, and it was a beautiful day, beautiful sunny day, and Old Trafford is a marvellous ground, fantastic ground. And it was absolutely jam-solid, right, with sort of 60,000 people. It was so impressive, and like, there's 7,000 people locked outside, you know, and you could just see this great big sea of red and white everywhere, you know. You couldn't see a blue and white scarf for love nor money, you know. Well, there was one, actually, and there was a Birmingham City fan hanging from the end. And I sat there with my friend, you see, and the teams came out, and the game got underway, and after about 10 minutes, like, miracles of miracles, Birmingham scored. Away from home. And all the Birmingham fans, there was 125 of us. And we're all sitting in the same seats because we all bought them down at Birmingham Seat, and we lost our heads. We all went, yeah! 60,000 people staring at you in silence. Of course, and then it started. You're going to get your next gig in. And so, like, all the Birmingham fans clocked it straight away. I mean, just sort of sat there and shut up and cheered United. Except my friend. Right, I was with this mate of mine, and he'd sort of been into football for about 12, 18 months, and he was a bit naive, and he used to like rally driving, you know, but then he swapped to football. I think he likes the colours or something. And he was sitting there, and he kept going, "Go on, City, shove it in the net! Go on, Trevor, skin him! Go on, City, show what it's all about!" Sit down! Look, I'm punching his face. What are you doing? I said, I'm saving your life. I said, what do you do that for? I said, well, I just wanted you to shut up. Why? I said, well, it's Old Trafford. You don't start shouting for the opposition here. You just come along and cheer United. Why? I said, well, because they don't like you cheering the opposition. What them going to do about it? I think I'll give you a very stiff talking to, Alan. So I sort of settled him down, and then anyway, luckily, about 15 minutes later, United scored and equalised, and I thought, thank God for that. And then about another 10 minutes, they took the lead, and I thought, yeah, well, great, I could go down to the bog at half-time. So half-time comes, and I went down there, and all the United fans are sort of massing round and were very happy, and I thought, great. And my mate came down, he said, yeah, go to the bog. He said, I'm going to get a bovril. Because it's Birmingham tradition, you see. So I came out and I'm looking for him. He's right at the end of this canteen. There's hundreds of United supporters around. He said, "Hey, Carrott!" He said, "Carrott," he said, "they haven't got no cow in Bovril." So I went up to him, I said, shh, why? I said, it's fairly obvious you come from Birmingham, Alan. And they might hear. He said, don't worry. He said, I've been talking to him during the break. I've been telling them how lucky they are to be 2-1 up. Hail Mary, Mother of God. I took it upstairs and I sat him down and I explained the situation, And I thought, we're on dire ground here. Anyway, he settled down. And you can never trust Birmingham to do what you want. They went and equalised, didn't they? And all the Birmingham fans went, yep. Except my friend. Yoo-hoo! That's the way to do it, City! Yoo-hoo! Come on, the City! Shove it up! Oh, no. And because, by this time, the Neanderthal men had caught on. Kill. And I sussed it straight away. I thought, this is it, curtains here. And I thought, well, the only thing I can do is, at the end of the game, is try and hide him. So, end of the game came, and I moved him down about 4 rows, and I sort of stuck him with this mob of people. And I said to him, whatever you do, shut up. Why? And we had to go up some steps to an exit and down the steps. And as we were coming up to an exit, I could see all the Neanderthal men round the exit, looking for Birmingham fans. And I thought, oh, this is it. And I thought, well, we might get away with it. And I said, shut up, don't say a word. All right. We're getting up to about 4 steps away, and he sees this Manchester United one. He goes, good game, wasn't it? Thought you were a bit lucky to get a draw there, I thought we should have had about 6 in the second half. Know what I mean? And this one bloke grabbed him by the collar, bunk. And I thought, this is it. It's curtains. And I mean, you've got to help a mate out, haven't you? I tell you, I was trying to get past like nobody's business. And he got away with it. Because, he didn't twig what was going on. And he looked up at this bloke, he said, how you going, mate? All right? And in that instant, he realised that it was for real. Right? And he pulled away, and the whole of the collar came away from his shirt. And I thought, that's it. And I shoved him down. The Neanderthal man was highly delighted. And we were out into the crowd. I thought, you're not safe then. And it was so obvious that we're not United fans because, we didn't have any red and white on us. And you stand there like a sore thumb, and I was slashing my face to get some blood onto me. Anyway. We live to see another day, and that has brought us to the end of the show this evening, and all it does is leave me to say thank you for coming, and good night. Good night. Well, what can I say? Absolutely nothing. All I can say is that if you've enjoyed the show half as much as I have, well, I'll have enjoyed it twice as much as you.